Hi, welcoming all. Today I'm more excited to bringing in this topic for you all. So today our topic was a compound wall. So what do you mean by the compound wall? How we are using this is compound wall in construction field, and what are the types of compound wall. So what are the material aggregates or material combinations we are just using in building the compound wall? What is the significances of compound wall? So I'm more excited, especially just taking this topic for you all. So let's begin. We are in detail. So first, for our understanding, as earlier as I said, we are based on the uses and the applications, and according to the materials which we have been used, we have made some of the categories. So let's talk about all one by one categories. So in the first category, we are just looking is based on especially the thing is we have made classification, or we clearly made as per based on the material selections of materials which we have been used here. The first is masonry compound wall. Masonry compound wall. Correct. The next is ornamental compound wall, correct? Ornamental compound wall. And the third one is precast compound wall. And the fourth one is what we are just looking is security compound wall. Yeah, next is cladding compound wall. Cladding compound wall. And the last is brick compound wall. Yes, so majorly we have made some of 6 categories of compound wall which use based on our uses and applications. Masonry compound wall, and the second one is an ornamental compound wall. The third one is a precast compound wall. The fourth is security compound wall. And then the fifth one is a cladding compound wall, and the sixth one is a brick compound wall. So in order to understand feel still more better, so let's we will go one by one in the masonry compound wall. So in that first topic of masonry compound wall, correct? So compound wall. So in this compound wall, we have used the basic raw material as laterite stone, or maybe you can say red clay bricks, or even we can use fly ash bricks. And along with the pillars for making a pillars in between those compound wall, we can use steel and mortar. Maybe you can use steel and mortar. Yeah. So in clear in such a way that we can understand is the masonry compound wall is nothing but it's clearly we are using is here as laterite stone and the red clay bricks and the fly ash bricks. Majorly 3, either of any of 3, by making use of we are making any compound wall, it's clearly be known as masonry compound wall. Especially masonry compound wall, you want to see the height and width. Usually the width of the compound wall is usually say around 8 to 9 inches. You want to say in terms of height, it's height, this is actually width, I'm writing it here. Yeah. So then height is say for example around 5 to 6 feet you can fill. Yeah, 5 to 6 feet from the ground level. So you want to take the cross section of this masonry compound wall. In general, I'm just writing here. So simply you just consider this is as ground level. I am digging the soil for making the foundation of this masonry compound wall around 2 feet. Yeah, 2 feet is in the common. We are just making dig our hole. So in that we are using rubble mason as masonry as foundation. So before that, once the excavation will completes and complete for this, when gets over up, when immediately we just need to get the basement. I mean to say the base loose soil again needs to be get compact by means of rolling the compaction machine or any other things. So above the compacted soil, we need to fill the soil PCC of PCC as a bed for the making of rubble masonry or rubble stone. Correct. So we need to make rubble masonry up to here. Correct. On these kinds rubble masonry. So above that we need our foundation compound wall will come. This is what I am writing the compound wall. Correct. So in this simple is nothing but I am just briefing it once again. So masonry compound wall is nothing but it is a combination of making use of laterite or red bricks or any fly ash bricks. So it's really by means of making the foundation of 2 feet and the width of the foundation, say for example maybe of it's 1.5 feet, maybe of 450 mm, it will be there. So this could be the majorly aspects of these kinds of you will find these kinds of masonry compound wall, especially in the larger in terms of very big association of apartments. You will find larger association of apartments. There you will find these kinds of high rises, say 5 to 6 feet of height of compound wall. You will go to find. The next is ornamental compound wall. Correct. The next is we are just looking is ornamental compound wall. In the ornamental compound wall, I'm just writing the section here. I'm just simply taking this as a ground level. Correct. So we are building the compound wall in this pattern. Okay. I'm just in the elevation part. I'm writing here. Okay. I'm elevation. You will find in the center you will find some of the post or I can say the pillars just to support the compound wall. Correct. So in the ornamental the entire thing, the entire compound wall will not be by means of masonry. In the center maybe of as per the elevation concept which includes or maybe in terms of say the people who are architects which use a perfect drawing. I am just incorporating some of the MS some of the I'm just taking this in this section. I'm incorporating some of the sections like this. Correct. Then in this particular patch I'm just inserting these kinds of MS. Okay. What you are just looking, this is purely a block masonry. This is purely a MS. Correct. MS or SS or stainless steel. So these kinds of grills we are going to fix it here. That means ornamental. If I want to still more want to elaborate it is ornamental compound wall is nothing but is a masonry wall plus stainless steel grills or MS grills which are being added to the compound wall just to elevate your building or architectural and view. Just needs to be get in order to enhance your elevation views elevations or maybe views especially this particular which majorly we intended to enhances your building compound wall more, look. And the next topic we are just looking is, precast compound wall. Yeah, precast compound wall, correct? Precast compound wall. The third types of the compound wall we are just looking is, in the precast compound wall, it's because of the factory made. This is especially we are intended to make every part or elements of this compound wall which are made or manufactured in the control factory, and that has been transferred. So that means that factory item, factory elements, okay, factory elements which are been transported, and here they will going to erect, correct? They will going to do the erection. So before starting the compound wall or erecting the things, we need to do proper foundation for that, correct? Say for example, I'm just taking the cross section of this kinds of compound wall. In this condition, my PCC will come in around PCC, and again I will find some of the bed, and this could be this kinds of foundation I will find. This is RCC, correct? So in the precast compound wall, we will find some of the dowels, okay? In the footing, we need to leave for erection, okay? This is called dowels, okay? So when the factory made panels are which were getting ready, that with the help of cranes, with the help of cranes, mobile cranes or any tower cranes, we are going to insert here. Means we are going to exactly do the erection here, correct? I will do the erection here. So once the erection get completes, we need to give the temporary supports by means of jack, correct? By means of jack. Once the around typically there are few 10 numbers of elements which has been which has been erected in the same line, erected in the same line of some series of compound wall. Once the erection is complete, then we need to do for the alignment of these kinds of panel. Once the panel is aligned, then we need to do the grout, proper grout, and then we need to release the jack after maybe of 1 day, and the further after 1 day we need to release these kinds of jacks. That means in the precast compound is nothing is simple. We need to cast the footing, especially in the in cast in situ site method. After that, we need to leave the dowels for the precast elements which compound will come, will going to come in the above superstructure. So in that situation, the compound wall panel which was casted in the factory and has transferred to the site, and the same thing which has been erected using the mobile cranes with this by means of giving a proper support with the proper alignment. Once the alignment completes, again you are going for the grouting process. Once the grouting gets complete, again you need to release the jack. This is how the precast compound wall will look. The major advantage of precast compound wall is which saves your time and your manpower which was used will going to use in the site, because it's a factory made. It gives a more quality of product, and it will save us more, as I could say, it's gives time, in the cost and the time will more get saved, here. The next is fourth one is we are just looking is security compound wall, correct? And the fourth one is we are just using the security compound wall. The compound wall. Here nothing but the same as usual. Maybe it's maybe of masonry wall or something. I'm just considering these kinds of wall. The elevation I'm writing here. Okay. Above that you will find some of the fence which were got installed above the compound wall. So this is we just call as a security compound wall. The purpose of this security compound wall or application, you will going to see wherever there is a safety is concerned at most. So for example, so military base we are using in military base, correct? And along with some of the wherever there is a, even though we can just look in the government buildings where safety is concerned at most, and another is police camp, correct, police camp. So these kinds of application we are just looking wherever safety is concerned at most. That's the application of this compound wall here. The next topic is called cladding compound wall. So cladding compound wall. So in the cladding compound wall concept, as usual the same process. You are considering this could be a compound wall. I'm just I'm writing the elevation here. Okay, so elevation. So you are adding walls. I'm adding the pillars in between them. Okay, so this is compound wall. Compound wall. So here you are directly applying some of the stones, correct? You are directly applying some of the patternized stones here to the compound wall. That means the cladding compound wall is nothing but you are adding masonry wall with stone. Maybe it's granite or marble. So this is actually majorly prefers where in case of individual villas, and where look of the building is more importantly taken care by the architects. In that situation or in the scenario, maybe we can implement these kinds of application of stones and the granite and the marble cladding. So in order to enhance the building looks, to say the view of the building get more analysis by installing these kinds of claddings to the compound wall. The next is we are just looking is brick compound wall. Brick compound wall. The brick compound wall is almost similar to the masonry compound wall. The thing is we are just using here as brick as major material, correct? Major material to construct the compound wall. So here also the height of the compound wall is so height of the compound wall is say 3 to 4 feet in some cases, and it goes up to 5 also. In some cases it goes to 5. Maybe of any a large community of apartments, and width is usually goes up to say 6 to 8 inches it will go. Then apart from that, I just want to tell you is brick wall is almost, it doesn't have this that much specifically been intended. Yeah, and the next topic is we have seen the there are types of brick compound walls, correct? So now we will just let us in particular cases by saying taking in a general particular cases, how are the steps which are involved in making compound wall more strong and with proper methodology be following and with the quality, how it's has been carried out. Say for example, I'm just taking this is I'm writing the proper elevations here. This is the general soil level. Okay, so in this particular stage we need to check ground level. So what is the ground level? So after that, once the ground level we have been made as a proper line, we need to go for the excavation. See, I'm doing the excavation in this pattern, correct? So I'm just for my convenient, I'm just taking the depth of the excavation is is 2 feet, correct? I'm just taking as the 2 feet. So in this particular, we are just going for the excavation, because of we are going deeper into the soil. We are making this soil as looser. When the excavation goes up to here, the soil becomes loose. So in that particular stage, we need to do the compaction in this. We need to do the soil compaction, correct? Because we are not done the proper soil compaction here, there might be chances of settling down your footing which comes above this soil. So once the soil compaction is done, we are having, there are different methods are there and the equipments we will going to use for compacting the soil. So once the soil compaction completes, we need to do the PCC. Yeah. So this could be the PCC here, correct? This is for PCC. Usually PCC is 4 inches will be there, correct? Once the PCC get completes, we need to go for the foundation. Say maybe if you can use the rubble masonry or RCC. I am just taking an example of RCC foundation. So you can just take here and make step, and you can just these kinds of foundation can be made. This is the symbol of RCC. I am just putting here, correct? This is what I am showing is a cross section for your understanding. So it will ends exactly here. Okay, above that we need to start making the compound wall, correct? This is called compound wall. Compound wall. So yeah, here what are the space which were left after excavating or after completing a footing? Again we need to do the soil refill or backfilling of soil with proper compaction, correct? With compaction. We need to again refill the soil which were empty or empty spaces in this gap. Again we need to do the proper compaction so that there is a further no more settlement and first footing it forms with the soil. So then we need to start the construction of compound wall. There we can't construct the same, say for example I am having a height of around 6 feet, correct? I am just considering the height of the compound wall is around 6 feet. I can't able to construct the 6 feet at a single shot because maximum as per our IS standard as IS codes we can go up to 3 feet per day. I mean because of wetness and the sulfate of the bricks, there might be the 100% there is a chances of collapse due to sulfate and the concrete or mortar which we are using for the brickwork which was not set. So when you go beyond or above the exactly want to say more than the 3 feet height in a single day, definitely it has the chances of collapse. So it will go into collapse because of its sulfate, and due to that it's a huge rework cost. So again as per our IS standard, again you need to go for only for the step by step. Say if it is 6 feet, we need to go 2 days courses. I mean into length, say how much length you can able to do at a single shot. So these are the major concepts how the general compound wall will going to work and what is the purposes. So next after that, once the compound wall get complete, we need to do the proper curing. So curing also has to be taken care for at least 7 days is a proper curing is required. So this could be a general procedure or general ideas which are taken care, especially in the compound wall footing foundation. This could be entire part, you can call it as foundation, and that is called the superstructure or maybe compound wall you can call, correct? So this is what the major steps which are So what are the importance? In the next topic we are discussing what is the importance of compound wall especially. So compound wall is importance, correct? What are the importance? Why we require? So compound wall is a barrier of two individual plots. Say for example you are having a plots here. I am just taking in plots. There are 3 plots, but actually there is no demarcation which is available on the land, but by means of making the perfect compound wall on the line of your boundary or your property line, so that it will gives you clear and the proper demarcation, correct? So demarcation, I mean, so it provides proper demarcation, correct, demarcation on the earth. Okay, and the next is it will avoid unwanted entry to your site, correct. It avoids unwanted, so unwanted entry to your site, correct. And again it will avoids mutual fight with your neighbor landowners, or maybe it avoids fights with neighbors, and even it gives more security to your building, and it gives more security to your building. And importantly, compound wall enhances the look of the building. There are majorly, we have seen around 3-5 importance. That means it provides a proper demarcation on the earth by means of, this is exactly shows your property which where exactly lies in the actual ground, and it avoids unwanted entry. Suppose there is unwanted entry from the maybe whoever maybe can it really acts as a barrier for that purpose. So it avoids the fights between your neighbor lands for any clarification furthermore, because once the compound wall gets maybe we can say as it's constructed, nobody can come and for verifying all those things. The next is it gives gives more security. Of course, is considered as a security for that particular plot by means of acting physical barrier. And the last one is compound wall enhances the look. Of course, aesthetically definitely enhances or elevate your building value by means of looking more greater or more shining, or adding the vibes to the building. The next topic we are just looking is what are the materials we are just using, especially in the compound wall. Say one is materials we are using is, one is masonry, and the second one is brick. Okay, and the third one is we are using some places called wooden planks. Yeah, we are using this, and in some places we are using the compound wall, say for maybe in terms of you can use what is called PVC boards. These kinds of materials we are just using the materials which we are using in the compound wall, correct. So that's all. These are the major topic I just wanted to bring you today all. So hope these kinds of information kind little mind refreshing for you, and something you have been got from our concepts which have been explained to you. I hope these kinds of same content which try to bring in upcoming session, and I'm ending the session with great regards and thanking you.